Okay, hello everyone. So sorry, I was just trying to make sure that everything is set up because we are going to have some kind of practical sessions. Um, Also, we're going to have the first part is going to be more of like discussion and conversation on web development, the ecosystem, how you set up your laptop, and the tools you need to get started. So this is going to be very beginner friendly. So don't be scared. If there is any jargons or anything I said that you don't understand, just ask in the question session. So I want this to be as informative as possible. So that's why I'm doing this. I know that there are lots of people who want to get started in web development, but they don't really know where to get started, or you have some ideas but you're not really sure if you are doing the right thing. So, and it's not like everyone that can actually like pay a lot of expensive money to be able to like guess that go to a very expensive school, something like that. So that's why I'm doing this. So for the next 4 Saturdays, so I'm going to be like taking these practical sessions for absolute beginners that want to get started in web development. So I hope you're like excited to be here. So you can stream on YouTube. So I just do a very scrappy setup. I hope it's working fine. So, but I've seen some people on YouTube already, which is really great. So, and also I'm because we have like a lot of people registered. So, and I know that like I have a pro account for uh yeah, so I have a pro account for Zoom, but then I don't want to like trust Zoom 100%. So just like have YouTube as a kind of backup, and also we have like Zoom also. So this is a very safe, friendly environment. Okay, if you have any question at any point in time, just ask me. You know, yeah, I think the smaller the group, even the better, because if we have like a lot of people, it will be difficult to like answer every question. So my hope is after this session you're able to like start your journey as a software web developer, either for front end or for back end. But you're like, okay, I'm taking the challenge today, Peter, with you, with this determination. I'm going to say like in the next 6 months I'm going to become a, let's say like, yeah, let's say like a pro web developer, or at least you'll be like an intermediate web developer. And it's not like it's impossible, it is possible. So for some of you that you have started this journey already, so it's good. Maybe you have been learning but you're like, I don't understand how these things work together, or you're just like, you learn, you pick it up, you drop it off again. So we have always been there. I also have been there before, where I will learn some part of aspect of web and coding, but I was just like, maybe I can't get the kind of support I need, and then I'm going to give up. You understand? So this session is exactly for you. So welcome everyone. We're going to start about now. All right. So today actually I've had like another speaking engagement today. So where I was able to like have the opportunity to speak to a huge number of people that are trying to like get started in programming and coding and things like that. It was really amazing session with UTiva. So this is not like a sponsor advert or anything, but I just felt like what UTiva is doing is amazing. And so it's a Nigerian and African country organization also. I have worked with Udacity, which is a global tech company in the past. So I haven't studied at Udacity yet before I was employed as a mentor in one of their courses. So, and UTiva is trying to do the same thing Udacity is doing, but in a more African way with kind of connection and everything. So you feel like you want to learn, you have some money that you can spend, you can, yeah, check them out. They're really amazing. But it's not a pressure. If you think that you don't really want to like spend a lot of money, yeah, from Uganda, it's nice to meet you. So don't worry. Also, you can always, I'll show you resources that will help you get started without paying any money. You understand? And other communities are introduced to us that will show you how to be a better software engineer. Like for me, I started learning how to code on my own. I taught myself out of secondary school. I started teaching myself how to code. So and it's I've been an interesting and amazing journey, even though it took me longer than I envisaged, but it was amazing because technology actually like paid everything for me. So I teach myself a little bit. I use it to like make some money for myself, and then I use that opportunity to launch myself. And now I've been able to go to school where I spend like £12,000 for just 3 months to learn something because I could afford it at that particular moment, you know. So everything is about stages. So why I advise people in software engineering is that use what you have to get what you want. You understand? Use the free resources as much as you can. And then when you get your big break and then you start using this expensive one. I'll give you an example. When I started designing website, we used to use a software called Macromedia Dreamweaver. So Macromedia Dreamweaver is actually was bought by Adobe, right? So because Adobe then the only thing they have in the beginning was Adobe Photoshop. So Macromedia Dreamweaver was like the suit for graphic design, web design, flash animation, and everything. And I remember in Nigeria, and then that software is very expensive. So most of us software engineers, web developers, we can't afford it. So I will download the crack version of that software and use it. You understand? So and use it to my first website was built with Macromedia Dreamweaver in 2007 or something. You understand? So but today I'm paying premium for Adobe Suite because I can afford it. You understand? So sometimes in life we have to use whatever we have in our environment. So don't let that because I don't have money, I don't have internet, I don't have a laptop, then you now like stop yourself from learning what you should have learned that will even give you more laptops than you can ever imagine. You understand? So I remember then like when I was started coding, I did not have a laptop in 2006 when I started. So I will go to a business center and write all my HTML codes, and then I'll burn it into a CD. And that was what I was doing. And sometimes I was repairing computers for people. So my church has a desktop then. I do my design on their desktop. I'll save it in my flash and take it to printer to use. So those are the things you can just like be creative in your way. So don't let like I don't have money, I don't have data, I don't have this thing to derail you from learning what you are going to learn. Because at the end of the day, the money you are going to be earning as a software engineer, it will be more than all the pain and sacrifice you think you are making today. You understand? So like for me right now, like I'll just look at my job and the money I'm being paid. For me, I'll just feel like it's not even I was talking to a colleague yesterday, like it's not like even a job to me anymore. Like it's something I enjoy doing. I've been doing computers, even I do it for free for people. You understand? So computer is a love, it's something that you enjoy, you know, solving problem, writing codes, just like these little things you do. And before you know it, you are being paid a huge amount of money. And it's not about just you being paid in dollars or moving abroad because tech skills is easily transferable. If you stay anywhere in the world, like if you move abroad today with your certificate, you may not be able to work. But with your tech skill, you can work. You understand? You can work. So and that's the advantage. And aside from that, you can build your own company. If you have an idea as a software engineer, as a web developer, you can build that idea by yourself. And that is the advantage that you are going to have. So with all those motivation, let's move forward. Okay, so my name is Peter Ayeni, as we all know. So for me, I think my own mission is to be able to help people to get started in technology and in social entrepreneurship. So I try to teach something that I have proved. You know, I won't teach you something that I have not proved, I am not an authority on. So this is something that I have struggled on, I have failed. I have my first salary in tech was 6,500 naira. And now I've earned more and more than that. I've been sponsored, I've been selected for international fellowship. I've won awards in tech, in social entrepreneurship and everything. So these are the things that I know how to do. There are things that I've learned over the years. I've struggled on them, uh, and I've become better over the years. At least for the past 15 years, I've been doing this thing, technology and entrepreneurship. So I try to teach people so that you don't struggle the way I struggle in my early days. So I give you the tools, the opportunities, and then you need to have the will to be able to take it forward and become and be better than me. So that's the idea. So now, something about web development and software engineering. A lot of people like, is it for me? Do I need to be a math genius? Do I need to be a computer science student? These are all the kind of questions and things that I hear from people, but you don't need to be actually. That's the simple answer. Like, you don't need to be a math genius. You don't need to be like super talented. Like, everything doesn't have to be in your head. So, and that's the way it is, you understand? So just try as much as possible. Make sure that you are willing. The only thing you need in this journey with me in the next 4 weeks, 3 weeks plus today, is your willingness to be able to like do what I give to you, research more, and the willingness to put extra effort. That's all. If you can do that, you're good. So there is this quote I like to quote most of my webinars and master classes. Like, if you can, if you check this movie out, or if you've watched it before, or if you've been part of any of my masterclass, you will have seen me say this over and over again. Ratatouille is a very amazing movie. So it's about a rat that is learning how to cook. So there is this chef called Gusto. So Gusto believed that anyone can learn how to cook, in as much as they have the relevant guidance and everything. So, and I just like paraphrase that quote by Gustavo that say that anyone can learn how to code. So don't think that you have to be like super talented or have something special than any other person. It's a skill, it can be learned. If you can learn how to ride a bicycle, you can learn how to code. So, and all of these cryptic things you see on the screen about from a developer, I'm going to like demystify all of these things. There are things that you can see them as huge, like wow, they are so scary, but they're not as scary as you see. Most of them are repetitions. Most of them are just like codes. They're like standards of things that you just need to know. So, and if you know all of these things, you see that web development is as simple as ABC. You understand? It's going to be difficult. It's going to be challenging. There will be a new thing, but don't worry. Just try to like assimilate it. When you read it and you feeling like, oh, maybe I'm not getting it right, what you just need to do is drop it for a little while, come back to it again, and then you'll be better. So what exactly is web dev in the first place? So in this section for the next 4 weeks, what we are focusing on is web development, because there are so many aspects in tech. Data science, cloud computing is really huge. But for this particular, for me, I used to advise people that want to start up in tech, and it asks me, where should I start from? I'll say start from web development. And why do I say that? Is because web development is the most easiest, not even like it's so easy, but it's the most accessible way of learning software engineering and programming. So why am I saying it's accessible? All you need to get started is a browser and just a notepad on your computer, and then you can build a website. That's all. So, but for other skills, like for instance, for mobile app development, you need to have an iPhone, have an Android phone, and then have a very solid machine. You have to download 6 gig of Android Studios. So the entry point is very, very hard. But for web development, web designs, the entry point is very accessible to everyone. It's easier to access. So what is web development in itself? So I saw this Wikipedia very short definition. I said I'm going to share. So web development is the work involved in developing a website. So anything that shows on the browser for the internet or an intranet. So, internet is the internet that all of us are accessing right now. Everybody from all over the world can talk to each other. That is internet. So intranet is like, for instance, a university can have their own local network, and they can have a website that serves that local network, and that is what is called intranet. So you can read a little bit more about it. So, and then web development can range from developing a simple single static page or a plain text to complex web application, electronic business and social media network services. So yeah, and that's how it is. Like it could be like a static. We are going to talk more a little bit about what a static web page is and what a complex web application is. So think of a complex web application like YouTube. You had like YouTube is a web application because YouTube can do a lot of things. It has social media in it, videos, it has audio, it has music. You can sign in, you can sign out, you can subscribe. All of these things are applications and services that bring together that are put serve on the web. But a single page application can just be like maybe your own website. Like I have a website now that is just like peterayeni.com where I just tell people about my biography and my CV and things like that. And that's how simple and how it could be. So it can be a very, very simple web page to a big e-commerce website to social media platform like like Facebook, Instagram, and things like that. And that is what web development is. So in this web development, so they are being categorized in two different ways. So when I talk of web development and this thing like that, so are they being categorized? So there are two types. We have the web design and then we have the web development. So in these 4 weeks, we are focusing on development. So web design is like when people say that I'm a web designer, mostly what they do is like they can use WordPress to quickly design the website because WordPress have a template. You don't have to even know how to code yourself to be a web designer. So you can be a graphic designer because you know how colors, fonts, and all of these things works, and then you can quickly use that to be able to like put a website together. Like Wix, for instance, you don't need to be you can be a graphic designer. Even you may not even know how to, if you can use PowerPoint or Word documents, like you are computer literate, you can use Wix and you can design the website. You understand? So, and that's really, really amazing. So before we move forward, like I would say that try as much as possible, like the YouTube. If you're on YouTube, I want you to like it, and also you can share in your network for other people to join this conversation. I really appreciate that. So if we have that done, so please let's try and let's try and share in our community, and that will really help a lot of more people. So I'm trying to actually, for this also, we have a Facebook page, like a Facebook group that we use to like support people for the next 4 weeks. So it's called For My Also. Even though the Facebook group, we deal with a lot of different things, the entrepreneurship, opportunities sharing, and things like that. But for the next 4 weeks, you can ask all your technology questions there. So after this conversation, I'm going to share a link to that Facebook group so that you guys can join it. Okay, so I've talked about web design. I hope most of us understand it. If you have any question on web design, you can ask. You can just like type it in the chat if you have any question, or you could just like raise your hand if you have question on web design or what we have just said now. So if there is no any other question, I will just like continue so that we could yeah, I think there is no question. So that means so am I going too fast? If I'm going too fast, let me know. Okay, if you have a question, ask. So this is the group. You can join. I'll share it on YouTube also for those who would like to join the group for questions. Okay, so if you are having issue with Zoom, just go to YouTube. I think YouTube is going on very fine. So I would have loved us to like go to YouTube 100%, but I just want to like maintain each community and be able to see the. Okay, the pace is fine. That's good. Okay, so the person with iPhone 13, I'm not sure. What's your question? Can you ask your question before we move forward? Can you type your question out, or do you want to ask it directly? I think if you type it, it'd be more better so that we don't. If you can type the question and just ask. So I think while we wait for the person's question, let's go on to the next section, web development. So like I said, like our focus for these 4 weeks. Yeah, so yeah, before I uh oh, okay, if you're having issue with the Facebook group, don't worry, I will resolve that. Is available. I don't know why. Is actually the or if let me see. Yeah, the link is going through actually. So, but don't worry, I'll still share it again. Okay, Tolu no problem at all. It will be all recorded on YouTube. And if you have any question, just yeah, ask it in the group. Oh, okay. I think it's true. It could be the visibility setting on the group. Yeah, don't worry, we'll fix that and then we'll be able to like move forward. So now what I was saying is that you don't need to know how to code to be a website designer. So because WordPress doesn't need you to be able to code. You can use WordPress templates and just do like there is this I will share with us this platform called Divi. You know, we have Divi. Some people have is it Elemental. So okay, yeah. So when we touch on backend development a little bit, yeah, Elemental. So yeah, so we have Elemental also. So there are platforms that you can use to design websites very quickly. So I don't want to like use those tools are there. You know, you can use those ones and you can even make some money for yourself on Fiverr. Quickly put website information website for people. But then at some point you will need to do more with your skill, and that is why web development comes in. So the purpose of these 4 weeks is to make you a all-round web development, so you can build your own custom made web applications yourself without using WordPress or any other drag and drop tools. So, and that is the focus of these 4 weeks. How do you set up? How do you do your coding? How do you do your front end? How do you do your back end and everything? And then we are going to do that. Even though we are not going to like explore it into the deep end, but then we are going to try as much as possible to lay all the foundation and give you all the tools and the resources that you need. Yeah, so they are mostly WordPress design plugins, templates, all these things are there. So, but then if you want to be more, because like for a web design, yeah, they can be paying you like not too much money, but for a web developer, you be because you're building custom solutions for people, maybe you're making back end or front end or stuff like that. So we are going to talk a little bit about that. Okay, so let's move forward. So now to the meat of the conversation that we say we'll be doing. So we are doing front end web development. Web development itself is broken down into two major parts. So we have people that are like front end developers, or they call them, there are different names for it. You can say front end, they can call it front end engineer, they can call it front end developer, they can like anything that is like front in front of it. So those are the people that make your website pretty, like the theme, the styling, the animations, the way it looks and everything. And majorly you'll be using HTML, CSS and JavaScript. So, and that is what you're going to be using more when you are a front-end developer. And then we have the back-end. So you can be back-end developer, you can be back-end engineer, whatever way they call it. They deal with the database of the website. They build APIs. Also, they build services. So different kind of services like that. So those are the things that a back-end developer do. And there is this elite, is it elite or something, that some people that are like very good, like they can do both front end and back end. They call them full stack engineer. You understand? So it doesn't matter. For me, it's like you can start from, I always advise people to start from front end, because front end like give you immediate gratification. You can really see what you're building. Is easily accessible, it's easy to build, you can showcase your work, And then when you have the fundamental knowledge of front end, then you can now go to back end. You understand? Then after that, maybe you have idea of front end and back end. You're like, okay, maybe I like front end more. Then you go with front end and you become an expert in front end. Or if you know that maybe I like back end more, then you can go with back end and focus on that. Or if you like, I can do both worlds, then there is no problem also. You can do both worlds and become full stack engineers. So there are actually different kind of technologies that can even make you to be like full stack engineers together. We are going to talk about some of those technology now. So like I said, like there are different kind of technology that we're going to be talking about. So and this technology really help you to be better, you understand, as a software engineer. So in the next 3 weeks, we are going to be dealing with HTML next week. So we go deeper into HTML, how to build your web pages and everything. And then the next week we go with CSS and we go deeper into that. Hands-on training. So everything, you're going to be seeing what I'm going to be building. You can ask questions and we're going to do it together. And then the last one is then we go with JavaScript. So what you can do with JavaScript, interactions and everything. And then also we have what we call Node. So Node is like a framework for building backend solution in JavaScript. So JavaScript is a programming language, right? So JavaScript is a very interesting language because, and that is why I recommend for every beginner to learn JavaScript, because JavaScript you can do both front end and back end with JavaScript. So Node help you to build backend services, become a backend software engineer with Node using JavaScript. And also another programming language and framework that is very popular in the web development space is called Ruby on Rails. So I use Ruby on Rails. It's really amazing software. It's really good. I love it a lot. So Ruby on Rails also go a long way. It's a very amazing platform. I'm going to share some resources on Ruby on Rails that you can follow, and they are really good. So the next one is Python. Python is another like versatile programming language for every beginner to start. So if you're going to like, after you learn JavaScript and you want to pick up a second language, I would say go with Python. It's really cool. And then Python have a framework that is really versatile for building full stack web applications or backend services, which is called Django. So you can Google Django. Django is really amazing. Django is for building services or backend or web application in WordPress, in Python. So another thing I would like you to know is that Instagram is built with Django. So the backend service. Yes, you can, Adebayo, you can do both front end and back end using JavaScript. So using this framework called Node.js. It's called, I just write Node here, I missed the JS, but it's called Node.js. You can Google Node.js. I will even put it, but I'll still show you all of these tools, but let me put it on the chat so that you guys can know. So it's called www.nodejs.org. So that's it. So Node.js, with Node.js.org, you can, it help you to be able to build backend services in JavaScript. So but then because Node.js is very low level, so there is this framework called Express.js, right? So this is Express.js. So Express.js is a minimalistic framework that is built upon Node.js. So if you are talking about the easiest ways to learn how to code, so that is what we are going to be doing for the next 4 weeks, right? So the easiest way to start learning is to start with web development. Learn HTML, which is very easy to start with. Then learn CSS, and then CSS help you to be able to style your HTML pages. And then learn JavaScript. JavaScript help you to be able to add interaction to your website, button clicks, events, feedback. You can build simple games and things like that. And then you can even build full-fledged interactive web application with frameworks like React.js and Vue.js, which are built upon JavaScript. Yeah, so HTML, CSS, JavaScript help you build the GUI of how your website looks. So Yinka said you want to learn more about Ruby on Rails. So Ruby on Rails, there is a language called Ruby. So Ruby is a programming language. Ruby is a programming language. So that programming language called Ruby is an amazing programming language. So yeah, the video will be saved on YouTube, definitely. Yeah, thank you so much, George. Thank you. So the video will be built on will be on YouTube. Yeah, definitely. But if you want to like ask questions, it will be better to join live so I can answer your questions. You understand? So, but you can still ask your questions in the videos also to be able to say. So now what I'm trying to say is that Ruby is a programming language, right? And then there is a framework that was built on. Yeah, I have some. There will be some courses we are going to do on JavaScript. So very soon. So, but there is still a lot of free courses online on JavaScript already. I'm going to share with you guys. But then on the last Saturday of this month, we are going to be dealing with JavaScript. So next week we are going to be doing CSS. Next week is HTML. The second week CSS, and the last week is JavaScript. So today is just like explaining all these tools for building our fundamentals for us, and then after that we start doing the real meat of everything. So the essence of this is to do it in the layman language, in a way that you're going to understand. So the HTML course that we're going to be doing, I'm going to be explaining everything for you, and then you can ask questions if there's anything you don't understand. So I will advise you to join all these classes if you are a very absolute beginner, because if you join my classes now on this masterclass, then if you are starting to learn on your own outside, it will be more easier for you. Yes, so we'll be covering HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. So all those fundamentals will help you. React is very advanced for now, so don't disturb yourself too much about that. But everything I'm going to teach you will help you to learn any framework you want, because React is still JavaScript. Express.js is still JavaScript. So most of these platforms, they are still JavaScript. So I'm talking about Ruby on Rails based on what someone asked. So Ruby on Rails is that framework for building websites that is built on Ruby language, Ruby programming language. So if you know any Evanto.com, Elegant Themes, some of these platforms are built on Ruby on Rails. A lot of websites have been built with Ruby on Rails. You understand? Even Airbnb, I think Twitter, when they started, it was built on Ruby on Rails. So let's just try and follow it one by one. So, but for the scope of these master classes, we are going to be focusing on JavaScript. But I'm showing you all those alternatives in case you want to explore more. You understand? So you can. So also the last one is Java. So like for me, for beginners, I don't recommend Java. But then after you've moved further, then you can continue to learn Java. Even for me, I have an idea of Java, but I don't write Java on a daily basis. But I do Ruby on Rails, I do Python, I do Ruby, I do JavaScript, I do Node. So that is it. But I have idea. I know PHP. I used PHP in the early days. I know some Java because I did Java in school. So which is really good. So you can just like try but learn the simple stuff. The things that when you learn, you just have to have that foundation. When you have the foundation, every other thing will be easier for you, and that's the point of this masterclass. So now we're going to talk about tools. So somebody talks about GitHub. So this is where we are going to talk about all those tools now. So I'm going to show you practical session of all of these tools where you can get them and how to set them up. So this time we're going to move a little bit faster. So the tools you need to get started today as a software engineer or as a web developer, either front end and back end. Number one, I assume that you have your web browser. You need the web browser to preview whatever you build, which is important. So again, you're going to need an IDE. An IDE means integrated development environment. You understand? So that is an IDE, integrated development environment. So, and then the one I would recommend is what we call VS Code. It's free, it's built by Microsoft, and it's really amazing. So that is what I use at my work every day. It's really cool. I've written a lot of stuff about it, a lot of extensions, a lot of different in Visual Studio Code is really amazing. So now, if you're online, go there and download this. I'll share on both channel. So download Visual Studio Code today, because that is where you're going to be using to write all your codes. So we are from next week, we are going to be using VS Code to write all our codes. So do that right about now. Install it now and now. And the next thing you want to have, if you don't have it before, is what we call GitHub. So tomorrow, the next masterclass, I'm going to do a very short workshop on how to use GitHub. So create a GitHub account also. I'll share my own GitHub account too. You can follow me there and you see my own account and what I'm doing, and you can see all of my codes are there, things I've built in the past. So don't be intimidated by anything there. I'm going to explain it for you, how it works. You understand? So don't be intimidated by GitHub. So GitHub is a version control platform. So version control means what you use to. So GitHub is like a platform. You use it to, like, for instance, if you are working in Microsoft Word and you save a version of your work, and then because you want to make a new change, you now make a copy of what you have done before. You save it somewhere as an history, and then you make a new change again on that particular document. So, and then you make copy 1, copy 2, copy 3, copy 4. Sometimes it can now be very difficult for you to be able to, like, keep track of all of those changes. So for instance, in your code also, you have, like, maybe have some changes that you want to keep track of, and that is what GitHub help you to do. So it's like, they call it version control. So it controls all the version of your application. For instance, you can have your application like version 0.1, version 0.2, version 0.3, but GitHub even do more than that. You are going to be collaborating with other developers, other software engineers in your company. So GitHub help you to be able to manage all of those processes. So it's a very important tool to have in your tool belt. So if you don't have a GitHub account, open it now and sign up there. You say I've shared it, follow me, and then next week we are going to be showing you how to work on those platforms. So the next thing there is called a terminal. Every computer has a terminal, either you are on Windows or OS or Linux. So a terminal is just like this CMD, black command prompt in Windows, where you can type stuff. So we make use of it a lot. So next week also, I will show you a little bit demo how to use all these tools. You understand? So, but terminal is what we use a lot to, like, quick. It's just like a shortcut to your GUI on your operating system. So, and then you need any operating system, either Mac OS, either Linux, either Windows. No matter which one you have, is very good. So, and if you don't have a laptop right now, don't be afraid, don't worry. What you just need to do is try and take notes of all of these things that I'm mentioning. Keep note of them. Anytime you have the opportunity to have a friend laptop or a business center or a cyber cafe, practice. For me, in the beginning, then I would go to cyber cafe and buy 3 hours and use it to practice my coding until I was able to afford a laptop. You understand? So don't let not having a laptop to deter you from learning. So the next thing is, you can have operating system, can be anyone, and then you can use either PC or Mac, it doesn't matter. And then we have hosting servers. When you build your website, you want to host them somewhere. So we are going to talk about different hosting platforms that you can use, the one that's for free, the one that you can use for free. So we are going to talk about cloud platform also for hosting. I mostly use cloud platform to host my website. Even you can use GitHub to host your website. We have GitHub pages now for hosting your static web application for free. And we have Firebase is part of cloud. So we're going to talk a little bit more about all of this. I'll show you an example of them in the practical session very soon. And then we have all these domain services where you register your domain. Domain name is www.peterian.dev or something like that. So those are your domain names that you can register. So and then we have the ecosystem, which is the last thing I want to discuss about. So you see, this ecosystem is very, very important because these are the things that are going to like help you to be able to grow, to be able to learn. Because like I said, you see, all the knowledge about web development, software engineering, people don't like bring it from heaven. We have is a collective effort of everybody documenting stuff, and then other people can learn from it. You understand? So you learn something, you share it, you create a framework, you share it, and you have documentation of it. So your number one place you want to be every time is MDN. MDN is like a dictionary for everything that is web. So MDN means Mozilla Developers Network. So you know Mozilla is one of the people that contribute more to web development. They have the Mozilla Firefox and things like that, that browser. So it's an amazing platform. So check it out. Keep it on your tab. Free Code Camp is amazing. Stack Overflow, you want to be there because Stack Overflow, you can ask questions, you can search for questions. If you are stuck, you are going to like search for a problem, but we're still going to do that also in when we are starting our practical sessions in CSS, HTML, JavaScript. I'll be showing you how to use all of these tools, but then you need to know that they exist. Then we have the Google Developer Network. So this is where you could probably like join other developers. You can learn from them. It's like a community. Then we have the Facebook Developer Network. They have it in different countries. They have Facebook Developer Network in Nigeria, in Lagos, in different places. So you can Google for the one in your community or in your country, and then join them. So we have Python community. I was very, very active in the Python community because it's one of the very amazing community in tech. So you can join Python community also, and Django community. DjangoCon is an event that happens every year. So I did attend the one for this year, which is paid. I got a scholarship to attend it, and it's 100% free, and it was streamed online. So which is really amazing. So try and go through all of those questions. So now it's time. If you have any question, let's try and ask more questions now, and then I'm going to quickly do a quick demo of some of the platform I've shared so that we can be able to just like see them in action. So does anyone have any question you can quickly ask? So, and also you can see the link. I write a lot about web development resources, and if there's any new things I've learned, I try as much as possible. So to join all of those communities, just Google them. So just like I've said, like MDN, go to MDN. Yes, if you are not here now, you can join the next class, definitely. Yeah, Visual Studio 2019 Community Edition is good. So now for Visual Studio, right? You know there is Visual Studio and then there is Visual Studio Code. So the one I want you to download is Visual Studio Code because it's lightweight and it's free. Now there is Visual Studio Community, which is the minimized version, the free version of Microsoft Visual Studio. So you don't want to, yeah, you can download that also if you have the capacity to do that. But what we are going to be using is Visual Studio Code. So Google Visual Studio Code, that's what we're going to be using. So you can follow me on Medium. I have had amazing articles on Medium. So, and also if you have like any question you want to ask me directly, the best place to get me is on LinkedIn. So send me on LinkedIn, send me a connection request on LinkedIn, and I will definitely accept, and then you can ask me any question you want, and then it will be more easier to ask. So Visual Studio Code, that is what I said. So and my website is not really very active, but then you can still check some of the projects I've done in the past on my website. So I think that's it. But now we're going to go into some of these links so that you can be able to see practically uh, all of the thing uh, that we have been talking about. Okay, so we're going to have this practical session. It's not going to take a lot of time, but then just for you to like reinforce and show you some of these things. Some people are asking like, how could I join the community? How can I do this? How can I do that? So we're definitely going to have that conversation, and then yeah, you can be able to do that. Okay, so is there any other question that we want to ask? Let's ask the question before I quickly go into the short, very short practical session that we're going to have today to get us ready for next week. Okay, so if there is no question, I will assume that I've been very, very clear. So I'll just like share my screen one more time, and then we can move forward. Okay, good. So this time around, what I'm going to do is to be able to like show you some of this platform I've talked about. So if you like go to Google, for instance, if you go to Google, like let's just start from Google. So what you want to do is Google like MDN, right? Let's start from the tools first. So if you say Visual Studio Code, because there are two different types of Visual Studio. So there are the main Visual Studio, which has the community edition. So then we have the Visual Studio Code itself. So this is the one I want you to get, Visual Studio Code. So this is what you need, and you can just go to the download here and download it for free. So which is really, really amazing. You can see it has for every platform, Mac, for Linux, for Windows. You have every version for it. So, and it is free and it's really, really amazing. And then after that, the next thing you want to do is have a GitHub account. So I beg of you, this is very important for next week, because what I'm going to be doing is like give you all the tools you will actually need to be like a better software engineer. So this is how GitHub is all about. So I'll show you how you're going to install it and how to get started. But first, create the account. So this is my GitHub account. You can see it. Well, if I go to my can you please help us mute so that it's so if I go to my profile, for instance, okay, so if I go to my profile, so this is my profile. You can see some of the projects I've worked on in the past, and then you can see, so I've joined I actually joined GitHub since 2012, so it's been 10 years now I've been here. So I think so, but it doesn't matter where you start. The important thing is that for you to start, you understand. So, and I like to say to people, you see, your GitHub account is like your CV as a software engineer. So it's very important. So just show that, right? Check my profile, and then you can be able to see how you set up your own profile also and everything, and you can set up what you're doing and your work and different things, organizations you work with, and you can also contribute to different projects. There are a lot of codes on GitHub, so you can see some of my own code also, and it's a good way of using how people write their codes, and you can learn from them, and you can see other people that you follow what they are doing. And this is my colleague from work, for instance. You can see what they do and stuff like that. So that's the thing that you can see different people. So this is a very good friend that we started Python Nigeria together then. Yeah, so which is good. So, and I think that's GitHub. So then I said we should have like a terminal. Every computer come with a terminal, definitely. So and I'll just show you my own terminal for instance. So this is a terminal that you're going to be using. So terminal is just for you to be able to like type things that you can do on your computer. You can also do with your terminal, but a little bit faster. You can see your directory here and everything, and you can navigate is each directory. You can see what is inside and everything like that. You can create folder, you can do different things. So we are going to do a demo kind of workshop on how to use terminal and all of those things, so in a more easier way. So also you want to be part of the MDN, Mozilla Developers Network, which is really good. You want to actually, for every web developer should be here. So this is resources for developers by developers. Like everything you need on web development is on this platform. It's like a dictionary for web developer. So you want to be here. So and then when you are here, make it your home. You can learn a lot of things about web technology. You can learn here. You can see developer tools here. So just go through them. And then the next place you want to be is Free Code Camp. Free Code Camp actually have an amazing resources for developers. You can learn for free. You can see all of these things. So you can learn a lot of things for free on Free Code Camp. They have like over 7,000 tutorials. You can see responsive web design, JavaScript, front end, all of these things, and they are free and you can learn everything here. So but the essence of my masterclass is I'm going to give you all of these things that you need, so that when you go to this place and you are learning, they don't feel strange to you. You understand? They don't feel strange to you, and you are able to like continue to take that knowledge forward. You understand? And you can then like, okay, yeah, Peter have said this before. You know how this is, because setting up and getting started is the most important thing, so which is it. And then if you have your Free Code Camp account, and then you have all that, another place you're going to be using more is what we call Stack Overflow. So Stack Overflow is a place where developers actually ask questions, and then they get, so you can join the communities for free. So you can ask questions, you can see other people answers. Understand, like if I type something now, how to add image to website. So if I search for this, for instance, you see a lot of resources. Okay, I say, you want me to, okay, I'm human. So yeah, I use item 2 or my terminal for my OS, but it doesn't. Yeah, Mac terminal is actually a terminal, but I'm supposed to do this, sorry. So I use item 2 just because I just like it, and it's helped me to be able to like do interesting things. So your normal terminal is fine, but if you feel like you want to use item 2, yeah, that I'm using, you can use it. So if you want to access terminal on Windows, just go to your search and type cmd command line prompt, and then you'll be able to see it. So you can see the result. So I was asking for something else actually. How do I add some non-standard font? So you can see all of this. How do I add an image to a website? You can see, and then you can see the results. Okay, how do you add image to a website? You can see different results here, and you can read it, and you can see different answers, and that is what Stack Overflow does. Okay, I think that is nice. So for terminals, don't, like my own terminal, like there's a lot of configurations and a lot of advanced things I did here. So I use ZSH or all of those things. So the thing is that don't worry too much about all of these terminal things. Your default terminal is good. So by the time you now get started becoming more expertise and everything, you can start customizing your terminal the way you want. You understand? So don't fret too much about it. Yeah, there is a meme I shared where someone, when you say like when you open your terminal for somebody, they're like, that is the hacker. because terminal are really like amazing way of showing off as a developer, right? Because we can be able to show people different things. So let me do something, for instance, like if I do this, and I used to do like you can do. Okay, let's just do something like interesting and see how crazy terminals can be. So let me just see my directory. I want to see something. Okay. So so I have this project called Glory. Let me just go inside that project. Yeah. So for instance, with this terminal, I can just do this code dot and open this code up. And this code dot, for instance, is going to open this code, this Glory code for me. It's open already. I'm just going to show you. So you can see that the code is loading and everything in my terminal. And this is VS Code. This is what I asked you to download. And the beautiful thing about VS Code is that it also has a terminal built into it. So you can see that VS Code also has its own terminal. So which is really, really amazing. And you can do interesting things with it. So sorry for my laptop being slow. The next time we are going to be doing our more practical stuff, I'm not going to like be using. I will close a lot of stuff on my laptop so that we can be able to. It will be more faster. So you can see now. So this is the terminal. So you have all of the code here and everything. So and it's really amazing. So what I want to show you now is this. Okay, let me see. So terminal, I can say like yarn and do this. And then your terminal start like doing all of these interesting things and stuff like that. So don't be afraid by terminals. They're just like things that you're going to be creating by yourself. You understand? And then is the Odin project. Okay. Yeah. So the thing is that I don't really like. I don't use. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with Windows, but my laptops are Mac, but everything you are doing in Mac, you should be sure. So you should be sure that they are going to work on Windows also. So if you are a Windows user, you understand. If you're a Windows user, and you feel like anything I'm doing is not working like you want it to, so what you just need to do is just tell me, and then I will give you the Windows command to do it. You understand? So you can see like, okay, this thing I've built already. So this like, so this project is actually like I built it with React and SJS. It's like a component I saw online. I'm like, okay, let me build this thing, and it's really cool. So, but that's just then I can do like build this project, for instance. So if I want to like build this project, and then my terminal is going to start doing different things, and sometimes it's like, yeah, it felt so interesting, but the thing is, it's not that hard. It's just the way computer like, don't be scared by what terminals are doing and the way they are building and all of this interesting things about terminals. So they're just like, they're easy, really. So, okay. So for the next class, we are still going to be using Linux. iOS. But I'm going to be telling you all of these things that you can do for Windows. You understand? So don't worry too much at all. So yeah, that's this about terminals. That just don't be scared of them. They will be doing different things, but it's not really that difficult. So yeah, so this is this, and if like I tell you, Visual Studio also have its own terminal, so I can do yarn and serve here. Okay, I've done build. Okay, I should start because I want this to run. If I do yarn start, so it's going to launch this service for me, and then I can show you this. So you can see this is on this localhost. So localhost is just like the address of your own computer. That's what localhost is. So localhost is like the address of your own computer. But we are still going to like talk more a little bit about your local host and how you can be able to access websites that you are building on your own local computer. So if you are building your website on your local computer and then you want to access that website there, so where you go to is the local host. You understand? So your local host is like, okay, show me this thing. So this is just like an interesting component I was building. It's just for fun actually. So you can see it's not anything more. So I built all this with React. So because I think there was a guy on my LinkedIn. He's a designer, so he built this thing and it's very nice. I was like, oh, maybe I can code it. So the guy name is Glory Falake. So and I told him that okay, I'm going to build all of these components out. They're just like very simple components, and it's really cool. So all of these things here, maybe we can just build them with HTML and CSS, and you see how it works. So in the next 3 weeks, we are going to be building simple components and in HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, and you see how they work. So but this one was built with Nest.js and Chakra UI. So I use Chakra UI at work because it's like a framework for building, just like if you know Bootstrap. So that's how Chakra UI is for React. You understand? So so that's about that. So I'm just like showing you this. But then the idea of the next 4 weeks is we're going to be building everything from scratch by ourselves. We're not using any framework, we're not using anything. Everything is going to be pure JavaScript, CSS, and HTML. And then if you know that, you can take that knowledge to be able to build whatever you want. So the next week and the remaining 3 weeks is going to be both on this platform, Zoom, and I'll be streaming on YouTube also. So the idea is so that everybody can be able to have the advantage to be part of it. So don't worry, it's going to be on both platforms. But I will advise you attend it, because if you attend, then I will be able to like answer your question firsthand. Because if you are watching it back and I did something in the video you don't understand, it will be difficult for you to understand it because you'll be like, because the question wasn't answered. But if you are live with me and I did something you don't understand, you can just quickly just say, okay, yeah, Peter, you did something, I don't understand this thing. Can you quickly respond to it, and then I can definitely respond to it. So so that's it for this first session. If you have any question, can I have a one-on-one with open source deployment with JIT and apps? So the thing is that these classes are on Saturday only, so that is very accessible for everyone. 4:30 on Saturday. So I think the thing is that just make time for it, because it just be like one-time investment you are going to make, and then it's going to worth it. Because if you understand all of this basic foundation I'm going to be doing, it's going to go a long way to help you in your career as a software engineer. It's going to go a long way to help you in your career. And then you can take all those knowledge. So if you are now learning, even if you go to any other school or you want to learn any language, you can because you have the foundation. Foundation is the most important thing. If you have that foundation, every other thing become easy. So that's it. So do we have any other question? Yeah, so I'm going to share the Facebook group again in an email, so don't fret. I'm going to share the Facebook group, so if you're not part of it now, you're going to get it in an email immediately after this. So yeah, so open source files are going to, if every project have a readme. Even most open source projects, we have a very good documentation. So, and that's it. And then you can read, you can see how you can maybe download their codes, or how you can contribute if you want, and things like that. So contributing to open source projects are very, very good. So you should try to do it, and I highly recommend that uh, it's it's done, because it will go a long way to really help you as a software engineer. Okay, is there any other question that we missed? So we have like a lot of people show up today, which is really amazing. So can you all say I, so that I can take? It's not everybody that have profile picture here. Can you show your video for once, so that I can just like take a screenshot of the class and share with everyone? Let's see your faces. Let's see your faces. That's amazing faces everywhere. Oh my goodness, these are the next software engineers. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. I'm so blessed. So smile though, so that when your face showed, now you like Peter now took a bad picture of me. So I'm going to take as much as possible, so that at least we all like showing up. So I'm on page 1 of 1. So I think I'm going to go to the first page. Am I on the first page now? Okay, so this is good. So in here I can see you. So I think the most important thing here is if we can all like continue to do this for the next. So just trust the process. So just trust me 100%. I've been doing tech for I would say it's not like bragging, for like 15 years now. I've been where you are right now. I've struggled. I've buy courses. I've tried to learn free online, and it's really hard. So and then I've getting it also. I've built organizations myself. I've built startup. I've raised money. I've won a lot of awards. Now I work with a startup in London, so which is amazing. The pay is good, and there are a lot of opportunities in tech. I will tell you, it can really absolutely change your life, and that's the truth. Like it can absolutely change your life. So let's be determined for the next just 1 month and put the effort into this, and you will be surprised how far we could actually go, and what we can actually achieve together. So the potential is really, really, really high. And so if there's anyone that wants to give any kind of feedback, yeah, definitely raise your hand, so that it's not only me just talking. Let's give chance for like maybe 2 or 3 people to just say something, and then we could round up for today. So you can raise your hand actually if you want to talk, and I'm going to spotlight you. So if anybody doesn't, I'll pick someone that's random. If you don't want to, okay, yeah. So I've seen someone already. You can see raise your hand in the reaction. You see like you can raise your hand in the reaction. Okay, I've seen Adebayo. So and I've seen Adebayo, and so I don't want to like call people's name terribly, because I hate like doing that to people when people call my name terribly. So I saw someone that raised their hand. Okay, yeah. So I've asked you to unmute, so you should go ahead. Is it Kireme, right?
Yeah.
So sorry, like Kireme. I'm like, oh my goodness, I don't want to like pronounce this name badly. I'm like, okay, so let's Kireme, then Adebayo after
Yeah,
Kireme.
it's a good evening, guys.
Yeah, good evening.
I joined from Ghana.
Wow, I'm coming to Ghana in November, so maybe we're gonna hang out together, and maybe eat fish. What do you guys eat in Ghana? Donkuno or something?
Yeah, so you don't eat wachi.
I know, right?
The Nigerians in Ghana like wachi.
I eat watching like growing up, you know. So
Where? In Ghana?
no, I live in a border town, that was why I grew up in between Nigeria and Benin Republic. So Ghana is not really far from us. So, but we
Yes.
have a lot of Ghanaians living close to us there. You understand?
Ghana
So
and Nigeria, I mean, Ghana and Nigeria it's like your EPA and a company name.
yeah, definitely. So don't worry, keep in touch. Actually, so I'll when I'm coming to Ghana,
I will
I'll
do
see
that.
you.
Honestly, I'm a senior IT officer with an insurance company.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yes, I do all the systems and all those stuff. I used to love programming when I was in school, but when you get job and the job is not more of in-depth programming,
Yeah,
but more of systems, you begin to skill more to systems, networks and servers and
yeah, I know.
set up the Nginx systems, host systems, and all that.
Yeah,
Yeah, so it's a beautiful thing you were doing. I know most of the guys here are a little in depth. So when you started speaking, some were bored, but I mean, you understand that some are also down there that they have to understand.
yeah,
But I believe that your 2 weeks, your 4 weeks, that is my issue. The timelines, the period. I don't know how much we can cover within it's 2 hours, 30 minutes.
yeah,
I don't know how much we are going to cover. If you could have a real look at the period for, I know it's a pro bono something you are running,
yeah.
but there's a goal to it.
So
So I don't know if any of the guys share the same sentiment with me.
okay.
They,
So, Kiriman, what I would say is this on the behalf of everyone also, I would say that I just want to look at the group and how serious we are in the next 1 month. So, if I see people that are really committed and really want to like give this thing a go, so I can commit more time to this. You understand? So, because I could have just done a lot of videos and said people should go and watch, but I feel like that is not really effective enough. But if you do like a class like this where we can do practical session and you see me code and you see the way things I do, like this is what I do like every day for the past how many years. So you can see like real practical process of how software engineers build something and how they struggle. You understand, and then you can be able to like apply that into your own process because it's all about problem solving. So what I want to do in this uh, 4 sessions is to give everyone the foundation that you know that okay, yeah, I have that foundation and then I can take that foundation forward and then I can be better. You understand? So and that's the thing. So I want to teach you how to learn and how to take what you learn and take it further. So, but then, if you now feel like, okay, we have done this 4 weeks and everybody feel like this is good, Peter, okay, can we do React? Can we do backend? Can we do APIs? Can we do database? Can we do this? Then, yeah, if there's motivation there, why not? I can squeeze the time and like we can do it. Or if like we finish all of this foundation, we're like, okay, why can't we just build like a portfolio project where we can build something that is really, really meaningful, not just like learning CSS, HTML, and how do we tie everything together? Then we can have a capstone project and we build it together. You understand?
lastly,
Yep.
I also open up to businesses because I'm not a student.
I know.
I've been working in industry for like over 10 years.
Yeah.
I get a lot of projects.
So about that, actually, the thing is that I won't lie to you. Like, I'm working full time right now in London, with a startup in London, and they are paying me so well. Like, I'm very paid. I'm well paid. So because of that, sometimes I like as much as possible to give the best to my organization. It's a startup. I also have equity in the company. So like I try to as much as possible to like and because we are building a cutting edge technology, so I try to dedicate as much time as I can to the company. So but based on the project, I'm open to consultancy. Like if you want me to like help you with a project architecture design, or you want to like bring a software engineer on your team but you want to vet them, because that's the problem people have a lot. Like I've seen a lot of people uh okay, I think we Adebayo, you can come on spotlight now so that we can, yeah, so
Yeah,
yeah, go on.
yeah, hello, hello, guys. First of all, I just want to say thank you to Mr. Peter. You know, you are doing a fantastic job trying to help us to achieve our goals in tech world. So actually, what I wanted to ask, you've actually mentioned it about tying tying everything together. It's one thing for you to know how to write the post, but how to tie everything together, like talking about software development or software application, how to develop that software to the level of application
Yeah.
beyond the level of just coding. I've been coding for almost 10, 20 years. I've been doing modeling simulation for the past 20 years, but how to put everything together to the level of application, and that is exactly what I actually wanted to say.
Okay. I think that's a very good question, and I really appreciate that. So, just like I said, that most of the time, in with the web applications, like there is this saying in Yoruba that is this when you take an ocean can be formed by a little drop of water. Pum 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 water. That is how it's been formed. And if you see big applications, they all start with small codes. Small codes that become big. So the problem a lot of us have sometimes is like, how can I create Facebook? So you're now overthinking it. But then what you need to do is, because we don't really learn about problem solving. Maybe it's part of what Kiri may have said. Maybe after all this session, I'm going to do a workshop where I'm going to show you guys the process of problem solving in real life, like in my own organizations. We have big projects we want to build. How do we build it granularly that now make a complete app? So that process is what a lot of people don't know. You understand? Because it can be tiring. Because if you see a big project, you are like, how will I start? But then if you understand the concept of modularity, you understand problem solving and how to break things down, you now understand that, okay, this big project can be built with small parts, small parts, small parts, small parts. Join them together, you have your app. And we are going to have that conversation. So just keep it in
Exactly.
mind, okay?
Exactly. Yeah.
Keep it in mind as we go forward. We will have that conversation, okay?
Thank you so much. Bro.
So,
Can I say something?
who's who's saying?
Can I say something?
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
Okay. I'll actually ask the question if you're going to be teaching React.
Oh,
You
okay.
said no. Okay, you said no. But for my research, if you know React as a developer, I
Yeah.
think you get a job like you get a job faster
Okay.
because it's the skill now that is trending. That's what everyone actually like. You know what React is faster. Like if you make a site to React, you don't see as in fact,
Yeah.
you don't see this loading page and stuff like that. So it's
Yeah.
faster by Facebook. So I don't know if I'm actually not a beginner. That's the truth.
Okay. So, Cabri, I'll just like, I get your question. So, but if you want to ask question again, let's click and raise hand, because some people have hands have been up, so that
Okay,
we
okay.
allow
So
them. Don't worry. But I'll quickly ask your questions. Okay, I'll answer your questions. Now, if you're not a beginner and you feel like, okay, I want to learn React, I've been doing React for more than, let's say, 4 years now. So when I first built my first startup, I was building it with Vue.js, and I just feel like Vue.js is too like, it's not like JavaScript. I want to do something that is closer to JavaScript. And then I started researching and I found out about React. So I actually do reside in Audacity. I was in Nigeria then. I'd pay about 500,000 for that course. You understand? And then after the course, I I was employed again by Audacity to become a mentor in React, in their React, and I have over 4.95 ratings in React. So the idea is that if you want to learn React, or that's what I'm saying, all these advanced things, let's do all of these basics. You understand? Because most of the time, a lot of people start to learn React, they don't even know JavaScript. You think you know JavaScript, maybe you don't even know it as much as you think you know it. And then when you start React, you start to struggle, because React is understand JavaScript. I have a course by one of the top engineers in React that I bought. Not everybody that buy those courses, but I bought that course because I know it's going to be very useful, and it's in JavaScript. And that is idea from that course is got what I'm going to be using to teach you guys everything about JavaScript, like ABC. and you're going to understand it in a way that you're like, wow, so this thing is so simple like this. You understand? So if you now know that, then you can now go and take React, Vue.js, AngularJS, whatever, Node.js, ExpressJS. Like I'll tell you that I've been doing web and React for a long time, but recently my company wants to build a mobile app with React Native. I've not done React Native for more than 3 years. I picked it up in 2 days. I picked React Native up and I built a prototype in 2 weeks. Why did I do that? Because I've had the foundation. If you don't have the foundation, it will be difficult for you to be able to learn new things. Okay, for instance, you are working in an organization, they employ you as a React developer, but one day they have a new business model and it's Angular JS they want to use. So what will you now do? Will you resign? No. So, but if you don't have the foundation of JavaScript, how can you learn Angular? You understand? So that is the idea. So let's do this foundation and then every other thing will come. Okay?
Okay, so after after everything, after the root cause, are
Yeah.
you going to recommend us to like an online IT store, something like that?
IT school.
Like IT like IT online. Are we going to do anything like that after the course? Or are you going to link us up with any company online to
Okay, so
recruit something
the
like
thing
that?
is this, like in terms of like job searching, and I've done a workshop before on that, on how to like get employment and everything. A lot of my mentee that I mentor during Udacity, most of them get job like 2 months into the course they have gotten job because of the strategy I give to them. And that is strategy I also use. If you check my Medium, I write a lot about how I got my first job in the UK. You understand? These are practical process that work. You understand? So for me, that I'm saying that this workshop is about willingness. You understand? So it's how much you are willing that you can get from it. So my network is open on LinkedIn and other platforms. So if you feel like I want to get a job, I want to get these things, and you need recommendation, yeah, talk to me. If I see your willingness and you are ready to put the effort, you get it. I also start from nowhere, nobody. I have no parents, I have no uncle, I have nobody anywhere. It was resources online and people and my own effort that helped me. That I went from collecting 6,000 naira a month to collecting millions a month. You understand? So, and that is how life is. So, the opportunities are all out there, but it's your own willingness. Like, okay, Peter, I've seen what you have been able to do in this tech, and I want to be better than you. And you put a bet on yourself, and you put in the work. You understand? And that's it. You understand? So, there is opportunity everywhere, but it's the effort that you need to put in there to be able to get what you want. So Amma, I want to let Amma talk. So thank you very much. Let's yeah, Amma.
Hi,
Yeah.
can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Oh, hi. Okay, my name is Amma, but I'm from South Africa. I stay in South Africa now, but I was born in Ghana. I'm currently
Did you miss Dokunu? Do you miss it?
I still eat them. I still eat them. My mom makes them.
Oh, you're lucky.
Very lucky. Yeah, so I'm a trainee developer at insurance company. I
Okay,
was
good.
previously working in HR and then I moved over into IT and work. So I just wanted to say thank you because at the moment I'm feeling a bit lost at work and when you study on your own it's not easy, but then when you have someone that can show you and guide you, it's much better, and you also have other people you can connect with because I've been reaching out to people on LinkedIn and not everyone has time, so I just want
Yeah.
to say thank you for this opportunity and I look forward to learning.
Yeah, that's amazing. I really like that. It's really good because that's the essence actually. I know it can be very dark place when you're trying to learn how to code. And sometimes most of us are like just trying to like pretend we know it, even though we don't know it because we are scared of asking questions, right? Like, oh, how do they add images to website? Like, I don't know, but I can't ask anyone. And then you struggle for a long time. You understand? And then you get demoralized, and then you get your mind off it. So But the essence of this is that I want to like demystify all of these things for us. Like it's easier. So there is no like a junior software engineer anywhere. Everyone just like built on every other person's knowledge and your ability to be able to open to ask questions and learn. And that's the thing. And if you can do that, you'll be better. So ask questions, learn, and then you'll be better. So on the group, I will share, but on YouTube also you can ask questions. You can reach me out on LinkedIn anytime. So if there is something that you feel like you blocked or you don't get, I can send you resources to it, and then maybe what we are going to be doing also is that if we start HTML, I will do, there's some bits of workshops I want to do. You understand, like working with terminals, like setting up your GitHub. How do you commit for the first time? So all of you are going to
Yes.
commit on GitHub next week. Everyone, yeah, everyone will do it. Like everyone will do it. So right now, have your GitHub account today. So your first commit is going to happen next week. So your first commit on GitHub will happen next week. So that's it. So
Okay.
Dennis, go ahead.
Hi guys, hi.
Hello, yeah, we can hear you.
I'm joining you from Nairobi, Kenya.
Wow, that's
Happy
great.
to, happy to be in this community and I'm willing to learn more from this community. Thanks a lot for this opportunity.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. It's good to have you, Dennis. It's really good to have you. Okay, so all right. So for people that, because the group on Facebook is actually like a closed group. So for some of you that find it difficult to join, I will share my Facebook account. So you can send me friend request, then I can add you to the group if you find it difficult to join. So I'll share that later. So who've come first between Aderayo and Richard? Aderayo, I think is Aderayo. I think so. Aderayo, can you go ahead? Sorry if I missed the process. I'm very sorry, but I'll make sure that everybody speaks and then we can go.
Hi, everyone. I hope everybody can hear me.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Joining from Lagos, Nigeria. My name is Adirayo, and I really appreciate what you've done so far. I mean, I've been an avid, designer for like a while now. I'm into UI, UX, and a lot of graphic design. I've been doing it for like 10 years now. And so I've been deeply in the tech space. I've worked for CCO at some point as a designer. But I mean, having tech friends around you and then you want to build a product and then you explain to developers, they get it wrong.
Yeah, it can be annoying, right?
Also for me. So I have an active Udacity subscription, and just to take the courses is been daunting for me.
Yeah.
At times when your 9 to 5 just calls you and then you don't have any other choice but to listen. You understand? So I mean, I hope I'm able to keep up. I just need a community where, you know, where you're seeing people around you at the same pace, learning.
Yeah.
People that can hold you accountable.
Definitely.
To things that you say you want to do. So it's an amazing platform, and I like the way you approached this learning curve. So for me, it's going to be a massive journey because I'm trying to transcend into tech completely.
Okay.
What's being a designer and then not being an overall tech person?
Yeah.
Being able to manage a wider team, because that's really my aim. To
Yeah.
have a wider team where you have a lot of developers, designers, strategists, idea people, and then the ability to supervise the larger team.
Yeah.
And the ability to code and all of those things. So
I think that's really amazing. Totally understand you because I started out as a designer also. So I started out as in engineering. So I was when I started in 2006 in tech. So I was doing engineering. computer repairs. I was building desktop because then it was desktop everywhere. So there were people networking cyber cafes. I was doing cyber cafes and administrators. So that's where I started, and then I moved into design using Micromedia, Flash, Media, Drew Media, Fireworks, Firefox. Yeah, Micromedia, Fireworks, and Flash, and all of those things. So then from there we started moving to like PHP, using Dreamweaver, WordPress came, then JavaScript, HTML, CSS, and all of those programming stuff. So I can see that transition, and I can see that you have the potential to actually be more. And that is the advantage I have in every of my job, because I've worked in the printing press. I worked in the other press in Abuja for 4 years. So I was doing graphic design. I was working for the presidency. I was doing work for NAS. I was handling the whole portfolio of Just Bigger, the design brands and everything. So Julius Bigger in Abuja. So if you're a designer in products already, it's even a added advantage for you. I'm telling you. By the time you start coding your project, because now all my startup, I do the design
It,
and then
I
I
mean,
code it
it,
myself.
it, it's crazy. So
Yeah,
I have some ideas. I have some product ideas that I mean, maybe off this call I will share some of those things.
yeah,
It's very broad, and it's been like 6 months. It's been like a 6 months journey for me, working with Figma,
yeah.
prototyping, validating, and then you're shipping it to a developer. Is doing a different
A
thing
different thing
entirely.
entirely. Yeah, it can really feel annoying.
You know, I've been procrastinating for the longest time. But when I saw this, I made sure that I was going to pin it to my calendar
Yeah.
regardless. It's
So
doing
what we
it.
advise and the way I teach is that everything we are going to be doing from the HTML and CSS and JavaScript, a lot of people think like, okay, this thing is simple, but they're not as simple as you thought. But then when you start applying those knowledge to your own component and prototype that you want to build, that is what the enthusiasm comes from. You understand? So there is nothing you want to build on the web that you can't build with HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. So and when you are solid with that, if you now think that okay, I want to add a framework to my project, then we can then have a conversation about that. So yeah, you're very welcome, Adirayo. I think this is going to be a very helpful stuff for you, and you have someone that have been through your journey. Definitely, we have an understanding. All right. So Tasso, did I call your name correctly? Forgive me if I don't.
It's Teso.
Teso, okay.
I really appreciate what you're doing.
So
It's
after
amazing.
Teso, I think we are going to have Richard also.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm Teso, and I'm connecting from Abuja, Nigeria.
That's my home for 5 years.
Oh, you have your home soon.
Yeah.
So it's really amazing what you're doing. I'm really impressed already, and I'm ready to go fully fired up. And my journey has been crazy, but I'm more of a business strategist and an entrepreneur, business enthusiast, and I am aware of how lucrative the tech industry is, and that's been my major drive. And then secondly, I also want to impact in my community. I want to change lives. I want to help people get other sources of income, which will be like a chain reaction in their
Yeah.
own community. So I've been I joined the tech industry in 2018, and because I was more of a business person, I went into product management,
Yeah.
and I worked on 3 different software development projects. I was supervising the developers, helping them making sure they have all the resources they needed to do their jobs and all that. But I never wrote the code. I never was interested in writing a code actually. I just believed I had solid understanding. I would be able to hire these developers to build a solution and all that. But the journey has been rough because I'm sorry to say, but developers are really hard to manage in Nigeria.
I can imagine. I can
Yeah,
imagine. So we have two people in the same shoe. So we have Aderayo and Teso. So you guys to connect. I think you have a lot of ideas to share together.
yeah. And I, because of what they've put me through, the
Please. Okay, I need to find that person and mute. I'm coming. Okay, I need to mute this. Oh. Can you please mute? There are a lot of people in the room, so it's difficult for me to see. Where can I mute everyone? Okay, I'll find it. Don't worry. Keep going. I'll find that person.
okay, so actually, because I've paid a lot of developers to do certain jobs for me and they failed me,
Yeah.
Sorry to cut you, Peter. It's Yetunde.
Okay, it's yesterday. Okay, okay. Okay, thanks. Okay, keep going, Tessa. I'll find it.
so it's been so I got a because I had a good knowledge of product design. I got a job to help an organization work on a software they already built, and they had the CEO felt product user experience was poor, and he brought me on board. And eventually, I helped them solve their problem. I redesigned the entire platform, and they forced me to learn a UI design. Because of them, I had to learn UI design because when I did the frameworks, they were not as satisfied as I expected. So
Okay.
they asked me to do the UI, and I had never built a UI before, but I had to go on YouTube. I learned, and funny enough, I built it with a very unconventional tool. I built the entire UI with Canva.
Wow. That should be on your CV.
Yeah, I actually did every single page from the login to the sign up, every single page. I built it with Canva,
Wow.
and then handed it over. They were impressed. They even gave me a bonus.
Wow.
So after all this being said, I was like, okay, if I can actually build the UI, why not learn how to build the platform itself?
Yeah.
Learn how to code from the front end to the back end, database, and all that. So, but learning this has been a problem because we still have a lot of bills to pay and we have a lot of work to do. So having that time to sit down and say you want to learn is always
Yeah.
difficult.
Yeah.
But when you have somebody guiding you, it's really encouraging. So I really want to commend what you're doing. It's really amazing. I'll be in every class. So help me God until the end.
Yeah,
And I'll make you.
yeah, that's really great. I really appreciate that because when I was working with Audacity, I find like I met a lot of like students because I manage students across Europe and Africa. So there is this guy that is a manager at CC Hub. So he's a is it no not CC Hub at Andela. Andela. So he's like a project manager. He manages a lot of developers and software engineers. So at Andela. So he was planning to learn React then. So he also have a similar story like you. And I was able to like work with him during his journey, and it's actually like make a lot of this different. So I think like mentoring, that's someone that I've been through like all these difficulties, trying to learn, go a long way, to like encourage you that it's possible. Like it's very very possible. So and that's it, and that is the reason why we're having this. So we're having this conversation because we know it's possible. We can do this. We can learn how to code. We can demystify it. Like I also transit from non-coding to being coding, and then from there also I still moved to entrepreneurship, leadership. I've been part of Manila Washington Fellowship. I was part of the Do School Fellowship. So I won the Union Bank Centenary Innovation Award with the CC Hub. So like it's a lot of journey for me. Like I've seen all of this space. So from entrepreneurship to leadership to business management and stuff. So I've seen it all, in my own journey. So and that make give me a position to be able to like help a lot of people to like translate. Either you're starting from scratch, you're trying to learn by yourself, or you're trying to like use spend big money to do this thing. So it's always like that. And sometimes like even having, I used to say like, okay, maybe the reason why I don't learn how to code is because I've not paid for softwares or resources. And we've seen people that have paid like thousands of dollars to buy courses and they still not finished it. You understand? So it's not about paying thousand or these things. It's about you find the people that are like-minded, people that can nudge you, push you in love, care, and everything. Then you can grow that way. So I would just say that let's trust this process. Don't feel like this knowledge Peter is sharing is too simple. It's too what is this thing? Don't feel like anything is too simple. Let's just take it slowly, one by one. If today we build a simple component, we can turn that component to two components, that two components to four components, that four components to a web page, and that web page to two web pages, and that two web page to a big application. And that is how it's good. So we're going to be doing problem solving. I'm going to share a story of how I spent £12,000 to learn how to solve problem. Like, and that's exactly what I learned. Problem solving. That's all. Because
Okay.
I'm telling you that I'm going to share it with you guys. Like £12,000. I'm like, okay, so everything I came here to learn is actually how to solve problem, and that's it. Sometimes that is just what. And if you see that spark, that light, you'll be like, oh, like, and for some of you, I know you have been seeing tutorials and everything. So during these 3 weeks, something will just click in you. You'll be like, wow, so that's it. And then you start building. You understand? Because all those knowledge and everything will just rush back to you and you start building. You understand? So you just need that spark. And that spark can happen. It can even happen today. It can happen next week. It can happen maybe at the end of the course. So, but you go and say, okay, so let's go to Richard now.
Yeah, hello everyone.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm Richard from Lagos. I'm sorry, I'm using my mobile because I joined quite late,
It's okay.
so I can't come video call.
It's okay.
So I just have a quick question because I don't want to waste our time. Um, I have PyCharm installed on the system. I don't know if I can use PyCharm in place of Visual Studio
Okay.
for the class, and also will each class be recorded because you know how Nigeria situation is. Sometimes to join might be difficult due to internet connection. You understand, and some of us might be busy with work. So I would like to know if each class will be recorded and if I can use PyCharm in place of Visual Studio.
Okay. So also what I would say is that all the videos will be recorded, definitely. So, but I would recommend if you can make it, even if you can't join everything, just try and join, because number one, joining doesn't only like just because you're here, it motivates you. It's people ask, maybe you are scared to ask a question, but somebody asks that question and then you benefit from it. You understand? So there will be one thing in the class that will just help you. But like watching back, you won't even get the kind of impact you will get like when you are in the field and in the moment. But definitely they're going to be recorded. Both I'm recording on Zoom and then on YouTube also. I know it's gonna stay there live. So on PyCharm, I would say that don't use PyCharm. The guys that built PyCharm also have another framework or another ID. If you like them, it's called WebStorm. So check out WebStorm. So I just like I'm fanat like I used to use Atom before. Atom is really good. So but then Visual Studio just do everything because sometimes I want to do C sharp. I use Visual Studio for it. I do some C++ once in a while. Like Visual Studio will do it for you. I do Python also. I use a Fast API for backend development. I use Fast API. In our workplace, we use Python for all our backend services. So we use Fast API also, and we use VS Code. But if you like using Python a lot, have your PyCharm. But then for this web development, so that you can be able to get a lot of support, I would recommend you use WebStorm or Visual Studio Code, because the thing is that in web development, we don't want to be cramming things. So don't think that web development is about cramming all this code in your head. No, the idea is there to help you. So even next week, we're going to set up all the extensions you need to support you with VS Studio Code. You know, there are code generators that can quickly help you. They are like snippet. Don't see that they are cheating. No, it's not cheat. You're not like a robot to put all codes in your head. No, you understand? We are going to be googling a lot. I'll show you all the process I use at work. There is no magic about it. The thing is that you know what you want to do. You solve your problem and then you can implement it. That's all. Nobody cares how you get your problem, how you implement your stuff. In as much as you are writing a good code that is extendable, reusable. Those are all these you have all this basic engineering knowledge that you need, and that's what we're going to be sharing. You're using best practices. I'm not saying that you should be going online and copying people's code. So, but if you can't even copy if you don't understand, you know. So you need to like understand it, and then you know the best code to use. So we are going to be giving you all those tips. You understand? So don't think that all the code we write just come downloaded in our head. Even sometimes I want to write a simple function, I forget how to write a function. I'll just like quickly check MD like, okay, how do I use this method? That's why we have documentation. Even how we write a code today, 2 weeks later, I'll go back. I'm like, what is this? I can't even know how it works anymore. You understand? So that's why we comment our code. That's why we do all these things. So that we write documentations. You understand? Because software engineers are human beings also. My code base at work right now, I've gone to like huge. I can't even remember everything in it anymore. You know, so and that is how it is. We have two platforms. We have one for web application. We have one for mobile app. So maybe this week I work on the mobile app. So the next week we have a new feature for web app. When I move to web app, I'll be like, okay, where does this function comes from? I was one I wrote it 2 weeks ago, but I can't remember anymore. And that is how it is. But the thing is that the most important thing is you know the foundation. If you show me any code in snippet now, I might not know the origin, but I can tell you that okay, this variable is doing this function is supposed to do this, and that is the most important skill you are going to have. And from that, you can build on top of it. Okay.
God bless you.
Huh?
So thank you so much.
Yeah, you're welcome. So, Sally, you can go ahead.
Hello, good evening, everyone.
Mr. Alishagu, I'm connected from Kebbi State, Nigeria.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Kebbi State. I'm actually a medical doctor, and I think I have to change. I have to have other idea, develop myself into tech, so I develop interest in tech industry. So, and I want you to know that I'm actually a beginner,
Yeah.
as in I don't know anything in tech. I just connected last week and I developed interest. And I believe with you, I'll be able to achieve my dream.
Yeah.
So, anytime you are teaching, please come down to my level.
Yeah. I think this was set up basically because of people that in your own state. We are all beginners. I am also a beginner. I learn every day. And that is one thing about technology. Look at Adiraya, for instance. He's been in this space for a long time. But because he has a beginner's mindset, that is why he's here. Look at Kireme. He's been in the space, and that is how it is. You have to have beginner's mindset. And I do that all the time. I learn from young people. I learn from people that started yesterday. I learn from people that, like, even maybe one day you're going to write an article and I'm still going to read it like, wow, I didn't know this exists before. And that is how it is. Sincerely, that is how it is. You understand? So don't think that everybody is an island of knowledge. No, we all know in part, and together we can be better, all of us. And that is what the tech community is all about. So, and also, if you don't have a beginner mindset, you are going to be left behind because technology change very fast. So you have to keep up and be able to learn new things. So, Saliu, let me give you a very interesting story. When I was in Nigeria, My wife, she's a medical doctor also. She practices in the UK now. So uh, when I was running my startup called Imbele, so we have a contract because we teach coding to students in secondary school. And what I did is I employ graduates, I teach them how to code, and then they in turn teach the students most of the things they have learned. So on our first day, on our first week, when we are getting started with the school, we are short of one person to take a class. So what did I do? Overnight, I teach my wife how to code with Scratch overnight, and then she handle a class and then teach them. She has never done it before. She has never done it before. You understand? And she's not a software engineer or anything. She's just like she's a doctor, And then she did that class very amazingly well. So and that's the thing. So just have the beginner mindset. Open your mind wide, you know. So follow the process I'm going to be giving to you, all the resources I share with you. Even though if you don't understand what they're saying, just it will click at some point. So Mayowa, can you go ahead?
Sorry, the background might be a bit noisy. I apologize for that.
It's
I
okay.
hope you. Sorry, I said I hope you can hear me.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, okay. So thank you so much for this opportunity. It has really given me let me say, it has helped my beginner mindset. Before now, I've been following Peter Henry on Facebook for going to 2 years now. And anytime I saw him make this post about you can get stuck in tech, I usually have this mindset that, this is very, sorry, it's raining over here. I'm calling from Ibadan, by the way. So it usually gives me kind of concern before now that maybe I felt this to be. I'm not saying there won't be challenges doing this, but I had this mindset before, like, will I be able to do something like this? But with what I've been able to gain today, I have this new mindset that yes, this is possible. Like something that I can move into next. Yes, I have this interest for computers, doing research. Virtually for anything I want to do, I kind of like check on Google or check on YouTube to see how those things are being done, things like that. But really moving into tech and this aspect is thank you for bringing the hope alive and changing my mindset to see that it is possible. Thank you very much.
Yeah, you're welcome. That's great. So Yinka, can you go ahead?
Hello?
Yeah, that's great. That's great. Yinka, can you go ahead? Is Yinka there? Yeah, go on.
No,
Yeah,
good
great.
evening. Good
Good.
evening. My name is Luca. I'm calling. I'm actually from Abuja, Nigeria. I just want to thank you for this opportunity. It has really been a very good one. I must say. The thing is, I'm actually going to study web development in Canada soon.
Okay.
But before going there, I just really want to know what I'm going to
Be doing. Yeah.
so I'm really willing to learn every aspect of it. So I'm going to be counting up on you. So whatever I don't understand, I'm drawing back. I'm so sorry for that.
There is no
So
problem.
please.
So we want everyone, don't be shy to draw me back because that is the essence of this. The essence is we are going to do things slowly and yeah, discuss like and also like I'm going to be teaching you every important thing because they're like a big things. Like there are a lot of functions, methods in JavaScript that I've never used for the past 4 years of my coding. So why should you learn it? You won't use it anyway. So you learn what you need for the job. You understand? And that's what we're going to be doing. So, and for everyone also, don't be shy to draw me back. There's nothing like a stupid questions. It doesn't exist. Like, this is a safe space. Ask whatever. Like, how do you add color to a text? I don't know how it works. Let's do it. Ask. It's not something that is difficult. And we're going to like treat everything. Yeah.
And also, I don't know what your opinion about going into mobile app development or web development. I actually really want to go into the app development, but I still want to learn
Web.
the web development. But I don't know which one do you think should be
Your priorities. Okay, yeah. So, what I always advise, if you have joined me from the beginning, I always tell people, if you are going to start in tech, start with web development. Why did I say that? It's the most accessible, it's the most easiest way to start programming and coding online, because web is just the web browser. You understand? You can build something today, like the HTML we are going to do on next week. After we finish everything about the HTML and you commit your code to GitHub, you can immediately share your link, and we are going to host it also. I'm going to show you how you host your website for free. We are going to do a little bit of Firebase so that I will show you all of these things and how they work. So maybe so before Saturday, I will have tell you everything you need to do to prepare for Saturday so that you are all prepared. So then that link that you created, you can share it with everybody immediately. They can see it instantly. But for mobile app, aside that it's very hard to set up your computer to even start. After you build your app, to even share with friends, where I'm so excited I built this app, they have to go to the Apple Store. They have to even you submitting your app to Apple Store. Even we as a company, we are still on it. Back and forth to submit your app. So the access point is very hard and it's difficult to showcase your work. But if you do web development, you can showcase your work very fast. You can build web application, you can build progressive web app very quickly that work on web, on tab, on mobile. You understand? And then everybody can check it out immediately, and you can get your employment. You start paying you or start building website for people, and then you can start doing whatever you want. Maybe cloud or maybe backend or maybe mobile app. So yeah. So but then your entry point, learn web, because web development will teach you all the basic all round of programming, coding, backend, front end, design, database, GitHub, all of those things. Then when you learn all those that, then go and specialize where you want to go to. You understand? So that's my advice. Yeah. All right. So I think we've been able to like cover a lot of ground. Yinka, I've already spoken, right? I see your hands raised.
Yes, I am sorry.
Okay, don't worry. I'll lower it. Okay, is there anyone we are missing? I think that's it. Oh, yeah, today it takes like 2 hours. I know like next week it may take a little bit longer. So maybe you should try and have a lunch. I don't have a water bottle here, but I will get a water bottle next week so that I can take water as we go. So because next week is going to be a little bit slower, and then we are going to build real thing using HTML only. But then we're going to like, the idea is to talk about all of the possible HTML tags we are going to be using, how to set up your programming, how to set up your IDE, how you use it, how you code, and then we are going to deploy that HTML page to our GitHub account. And then after adding to our GitHub account, we are going to add that GitHub account. We are going to deploy the web page in HTML. We are going to deploy it to Firebase. So you see how we do Firebase and how you can deploy your app. So, and then the next week we are going to do CSS. We are going to make the website in HTML. We are going to make it pretty, make it interesting, make it fun, make it look nice and things like that. And then the last day we are going to do JavaScript. So on JavaScript we may not be able to like apply JavaScript directly, because I want to cover the core of programming in JavaScript, not just like please mute. If you are talking in the background, please mute so that don't let us disrespect other people that are here. So let's just try and mute. So just try and so that's what we're going to do. You understand? So that we can tie everything together, because my main focus for JavaScript is to be able to teach you JavaScript in a way that you understand it and then you can apply it to whatever, because JavaScript is more than just for interaction and button and pop-ups and animation. You can actually do much more with JavaScript. You understand? So, and that would be the essence of it. And then after that, based on feedback, we can now do another workshop where we tie everything together and maybe build a capstone project. And then each one of you can then build something, and then you can share with me. I can help you review. I normally try to do one-on-one with people, but then I'll provide one-on-one for people that I see that have put more effort, because it won't be nice to give one-on-one to people that are not really you understand, because of my own time also. So but for people that I see that okay, these people are making effort, I'll give you one-on-one, and then I can go a little bit more deeper for you and answer any of the questions that you may not be able to answer. And also I think after that, if I see also I can buy courses for some other people that I think have made some effort. So I can maybe, I don't know yet, but there will be some kind of books, gifts, courses for people to just yeah. Or I can buy you a domain to host your own personal website. So we can't tell. So anything can happen. So but I think it will be the willingness anyway. So yeah. Okay, so yeah, I think that's all for today. Okay, we have Arisa. Did I pronounce it? Arisa is Arisa. You can unmute. What's the name again? Sorry.
Yeah, you're right. All right, sir.
Arisa. Okay, yeah. I pronounce it in the Yorubatic way.
No, but you're correct, sir.
Okay.
Yeah, so I just wanted to say a big thank you for the class. I'm not really aware that guys. I was more into C++ and all that. I taught myself,
Okay.
Or like some of my guys said, when you don't have the motivation, when you don't have the team around, at times you get lost and you just leave it, sleeping off of your hand. I've always been a programming guy right from university.
Yeah.
Yeah, my project, I did it in MATLAB and Stable.
Yeah. Okay.
How I wanted to go. But the thing is, I'm noticing that programming actually is changing now.
Yeah.
It's no longer the desktop application stuff. Everything is moving into the
Web applications. Yeah.
Decentralized programming, blockchain and all that. So actually, what brought me in is blockchain. I noticed I can't do it without, having a fair idea of HTML, CSS, JavaScript and all that before I start interacting with Solidity and all that.
Yeah, Solidity, yeah.
So actually, I'm also a new guy in terms of so I don't know much. Yes, I might do a bit of C++,
yeah,
or web. I'm totally
yeah.
So I'll be hoping on you to learn a lot, add it. But I'm also in the banking sector, so as banking, yes, 9 to 5 thing. So not really.
Yeah.
So this is like class I'm having on the weekend.
I know.
I'm coming back from work. This when you said snap picture, I was this is like the first class I'm having on the weekend that time. This is the only chance I just have to learn this. If normal classes, they are normally weekdays,
Yeah.
Friday. In fact, Chainlink even had one I couldn't attend. Which I know if I had attended that Chainlink's meeting, it would probably be big for my
Yeah.
You see the time of that. So this is like the first one I'm having on the weekend that you're really talking to me, and that's coming back.
Yeah.
So I
That's
really appreciate it.
yeah. That's really good. That's really good. So there are a lot of techniques that I've learned over the years from my study, like working with like organizations like Udacity. This is like a big tech company in education. So and there are a lot of process I've seen that they do that really works, and also schooling at Flatiron School. Flatiron School is one of the best boot camp in the world. So I'll tell you a bit about the story later. So I spent like £12,000 on that. So I think the thing is that having this community is amazing, and I'm so like pumped. Like I wasn't expecting so much positivity like this. I'm just like, okay, let's just do this. Let's see how people will take it, because sometimes people feel like because it's free, maybe it's not a big deal. Yeah, like it's really a big deal because I could charge for this. I know a lot of my friends and colleagues that charge for things like this. So, but why I didn't charge for most of the things I do, most of my trainings and stuff, is because I also came from a very non-privileged background, and I know what it means to actually like struggle to get things done. So because of that, I just feel like it's my way of like giving back to the community, giving back to other people, giving privilege to someone. Like anyone can be anything, no matter what. Sometimes I still wake up in the morning and just like pinch myself and feel like, is it really you, Peter? So I'll just share this like it's kind of like a little bit motivation. Like recently, because my in the UK here, my son was attending this public school. So, and I noticed something that wasn't really right. I wasn't upset about. So I was just like, I'm going to change his school to a private school, and private school here is really, really expensive. So, but I realized talking to my wife like, okay, I look at the price and everything. I'm like, maybe I could just afford it, because yeah, because I just feel like some people have like make sacrifice for me to be where I am today. So why can't I give my child the best? You know. Now when I was like checking the price and everything and looking at the cost, I was like 4.5 million naira. That is how it costs for a term. That's really expensive. You understand? But then, like, if I would think like 5 years ago, I'll be able to like pay 4.5 million naira for my child a term to go to school. I won't be able to do it. I wouldn't even think I can do that. But the thing is that technology changed my life in ways that I can't imagine, and now I could afford that. You understand? And I felt like this can be story of any other person in the world. Either you feel you're struggling, and it's not only me. I've read a lot of people's story that tech have changed their lives. People that are doing for to like minimum wages job, they just squeeze their time and then learn how to code, and now they are working in Google, Amazon. They are earning over $100,000 a year with insurance. Now you have health insurance. Now you can buy a house. Now you can buy the car of your dream. You understand? Like you said, like, I want to buy a Range Rover. Now you can buy it because you have, all of those things. Like these are the things that you be thinking, like, can I even do this? But then because of technology, you can do it. You have equity. I have equity in my company. You understand? I'm not just like working for salary alone. It's a company I'm building like to be part of. You understand? And those are the advantage that technology give to us. It can be difficult now, but then it can change your life forever. Not just to like work for other people, but to build your own dream, your own passion. If Zuckerberg doesn't know how to code, he might not have built Facebook. You understand? So, and that's the thing, because it enables you to be able to build stuff, and is actually the what we need for the future. It's not. I used to people like technology is not the tech of the future. The future is now. So it's now for us like learn that technology. We can be saying that it's for the future 15 years ago. When we were talking about tech, and people were like, "What is tech again?" Just like Bitcoin, we were like, "What is Bitcoin? What is it? Is it a hoverboard?" But now you can see that Bitcoin is changing the world. I remember like when I did Bitcoin in the early days, then like when Bitcoin was just starting, and then one day Bitcoin just moved to like $11,000, and I sold my Bitcoin. I made a lot of money out of it. You understand? So, and that's it, because I bought it at a very very cheap price. And there's some people today also that bought it at 11,000. Imagine selling at $38,000 now. Is a lot of money, and that is how life is all about. Sometimes you just have to take a leap of faith, and it doesn't matter when you start. If you start now, give it 6 months. I'm telling you, you look back, you'll be like, wow. So it's amazing. So let's continue this journey together in the next 3 weeks, and let's see what we could build. And I know it will be an interesting journey for everyone. You can follow me on Medium. I write a lot of articles. I share some of my stories on all my own struggles when I moved to the UK on getting jobs and everything. So you can check it, like for immigrants, African like us that we want to move abroad. We don't have to be doing minimum wages job. We don't have to. When I came here, I do factory work. You understand? I work in the factory. My wife work in care. He did nonsense job. But now we're not there anymore, and because we do that strategically, you understand. So, and anyone can do it. You understand? It can be hard in the beginning, but then you can change your life, and you come here, you work as a professional, and you get paid well for it. So thank you very much everyone for coming. I really appreciate it, and because if you guys are not here, I will just be ranting to the screen alone and it won't be fun. So thank you very much. I really appreciate it, and I will see you all next week.
Oh, wait, there's one question.
Okay.
Someone was asking about us having a Discord or Slack team.
Oh, okay. I think that would be cool. Like, if you want us to have a Discord, just do by show of hands. I think Discord will be cool, even though we have a Facebook group. But I think Discord will really be cool, especially for like, yeah. I think if we have a lot of people to that feel Discord is good, I will set up Discord tonight, and then a Discord server and see we can. And also, we need a moderator if you like to moderate the platform. I think because not having moderation can really so if you know that you would like to be a moderator, just like email me, and then I'll set it up and then make you a moderator. So we have up to like 3 to 4 moderators. So my email is so that's my email. Yeah, so if you like to be a moderator of the group on Discord, so just email me and let me know, and then I'll set it up. Good. I think yeah, most of us want to leave.
One more thing.
Okay, go ahead.
What are the things we need to get ready before the next session?
Yeah, so that's what I said. Yeah, I'm going to send an email. So because right now, for me, I'm not like I'll try to like check what I think will be the best use of our time to learn HTML. So because this is not just about learning HTML, it's about learning everything that surrounds web development. So because we are going to be doing GitHub, we are going to be doing Firebase next week. We are going to be doing also GitHub, Firebase, and then terminal, how you work around terminals, because some people get really discouraged with terminals. So imagine next week it's just going to be like short workshops in one. Like it's going to be like 4 masterclass in one. Because if we just do like HTML next week, it's boring. HTML is not that hard, but then it's the foundation, we have to do it, so that's why. So then instead of just doing ordinary HTML, so I will guide you through like how to do your GitHub, and then some other pet talk, like also I'm going to do a little workshop on Medium and writing, and that's going to help you as a software engineer, especially building your portfolio. So what I will do is I will send an email prior the meeting, so everything you need to set up for that Thursday and Saturday, you have it ready. And since we are setting up in Discord now, I can share it on Discord also. So does that work for us?
Okay.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Okay, that's great. So, and also, if you have some of your friends that are not here now, definitely tell them, let them join. And also, I'm not really happy that we have a lot of men and few females. Like, we want a lot of females. Or guys, are you not happy to have a lot of more females? You don't want to have females, Emmanuel, are you like, no, don't say that. So we have it should be equity, we want to like give a space for female to be able to learn. So let's welcome more females. Let there be more females engineers. If they are empowered, the world will actually be much more better. So yeah, Emmanuel, you want to say something?
So the next class, I think it should be on Friday next week.
No, it should be Saturday.
Okay, next class
Yeah,
sounds
next
good.
slide is Saturday. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
So I want to invite a friend to
Okay.
the stuff. So how do I go about
So
it?
just send them that link so that I can have their email. So because I'm
Okay,
always updating the email list so that I can be able to send message to everyone.
okay,
So
thank you.
yeah, no problem. It's okay. I think yeah, we've almost done like going to 2 hours over. So I think that's it. So thank you everyone. So I'll see you all next week. Definitely.
Thank you.
Yeah, bye bye.
Bye.